This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, in today's session, we're going to see the inheritance types. There are around five types of them: single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, as well as hybrid inheritance. Inheritance nothing but used to inherit the properties from parent class. Whatever properties are in the parent class, we're going to inherit to the child class. That's nothing but inheritance. For example, in parent class, we have some functions, we can have some variables, as well as we can have some constructors. We can going to inherit the property in parent class and then going to use in the child class. That is nothing but inheritance. Inheritance first property is the code reusability. We can reuse a code from the parent class to child class. No need to write the same code again and again in the child classes as well. It removes the duplicate of codes, as well as you can able to reuse your code from the parent class to child class. In that inheritance, we have around six types. We have single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, and hybrid inheritance. First, we're going to talk about a single inheritance. Already we discussed the single inheritance previous class. In single, nothing but we have here single parent and single child. Okay, when a child is going to inherit from parent class, then we can say it's a single inheritance. Single inheritance should have a single parent and single child. That's what I mentioned here is when a child class is derived from only one parent class, then it's called single inheritance. In simple terms, I can say one parent, one child. If you are trying to derive, if any child class try to derive from only one parent, then it's called single inheritance. This pictorial you can able to see. I'm trying to inherit some properties from the parent classes. Now, first we'll see this the theory part, then we will see the implementation one by one. Next one is multiple inheritance. Let's look into the multiple inheritance. In the multiple inheritance, you have more than one parent, and then you should have a single child class. When a child class is derived means derived, or you can say derived, okay, or inherited. Inherited means you're going to extract the properties from parent. Okay, if you're a child class, you're trying to derive or inherit from the more than one parent class, then we can say it's a multiple inheritance. We can have two or more parent, sorry, we can say one or more parent, and then it should have only one child class. Child class is nothing but a base class. Child is nothing but your base class. When a child is deriving or inherit from the more than one parent class, then we can say it's a multiple inheritance. I hope you understood. You can have more than one parent classes, not only two. You can keep three, four, five, six parents, and then if you try to derive from all the parents, then we can say it's a multiple inheritance. Third one is what third one? Multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance. In the multi-level inheritance, we'll have one parent and one child and one grandchild. From parent, I can able to inherit or derive from the to child class. Sorry, the child class is going to derive the properties from the parent class, and then the grandchild is going to derive or inherit from this child class. That is nothing but your multi-level inheritance. That's what they mentioned here is we have one parent class and child class that is derived or inherited from the parent class. We have a grandchild class that is derived from the child class. What they're trying to say here is this B is the right, B is the child class. It's trying to inherit or derive the properties from the A class to B, and then this grandchild class is going to derive the properties from the B class. For grandchild class, who is the parent? For grandchild class, who is the parent? A or B? Child class is the parent. Child class B is the parent. The grandchild is going to inherit or derive the properties from the child class B. That is not nothing but a multi-level. Multi-level means like your grandfather will be there, right? Grandfather, and then your father, and then you, and then after you, one child will be there. Your child will inherit the property from you. You will inherit the properties from your father. Your father will inherit the properties from your grandfather. Like this, there will be a multi-level. The name is called multi-level. Okay, we'll see the implementation later. Next one is hierarchical inheritance. Hierarchical nothing but just look at this pictorial representation. You have one parent class and then you have various childs. You have various childs, child 1, child 2, child 3. B and C, D are childs. When you try to derive or inherit more than one child class, sorry, when we derive or inherit more than one child from only one parent class, then this type of inheritance is called hierarchy inheritance. You have multiple child classes, all the child classes trying to inherit the product on the parent class, inherit or derive from the parent class, then we can say it's your hierarchical inheritance. If you want to access any functions, you want to refer to the parent class. You want to access any uh, functions that exist in parent class, you want to for the A. If D child class want to inherit some functions or variables, then you have to refer to the parent class. That is called hierarchical. Just I'll give an example. You have three kids. All the three kids will try to derive or inherit the properties from you only. That is something but the hierarchical inheritance. What's the last one? The last one is hybrid inheritance. Hybrid inheritance, I can say in simple terms, all this four combination comes under the hybrid inheritance. I'll show the diagram. Hybrid inheritance satisfies more than one form of inheritance. It may consist of all type of inheritance that we have done above. We have seen all four types of inheritance, right? That all four kind of inheritance will come under this hybrid inheritance. Yeah, you can say they're saying it's not wrong. You can say it's a hybrid inheritance as well as it's a combination of simple inheritance, multiple inheritance, and multi-level inheritance as well as hierarchical inheritance. All this combination of four will be a hybrid inheritance. And then this kind of inheritance will be very helpful in any kind of real applications. Most of the real applications are using only the hybrid inheritance because it's going to support all the four, right? Why you need to go for simple inheritance or multi-level? If you try to use a hybrid inheritance, you can able to achieve all the four inheritance types. Okay, that's what I mentioned in the diagrams in a circular fashion. You can able to achieve single inheritance as well hierarchical as well as a multi-level inheritance. All this kind of fashions will be achieved in this hybrid inheritance. That's a flow diagram of hybrid inheritance. Now I'm going to show the implementation of inheritance one by one. For that, we're going to take one real-time use cases, land measurements. You can able to see 1 cent equal to 4.47 square meter, and then 1 acre is equal to 43560 square feet. 1 acre is equal to 4.47 acres. Okay, 1 hectare equal to 10,000 square meter. Okay, these are the various calculations that we have. We're going to convert from, for example, if I give the input to my function 1 acres, it has to give 100 cents. It has to give 100 cents. And then, for example, I'm mentioning for 1 cent equal to somewhat like 1000 rupees. Simply, I'm mentioning 1000 rupees. For 100 cent, how much amount 1 acre cost I'm going to measure. Okay, this kind of real-time use cases going to implement using inheritance. For that, what you have to do, yeah, what you have to do, we're going to refer this inheritance. Yeah, first one is single inheritance, and then we're going to keep like okay, we will keep like first we'll have what's the diagram, should have only one parent. Single inheritance should have only one parent, one child class. We'll do one thing, we'll close all the stuffs we already did earlier, right? Okay, now we'll create one py file. we'll keep like it's a base class, right? Should have a single parent and single child, right? We'll keep the bases to somewhat the py file, and then keep current class name. Class name, what we can keep, we'll keep like okay, we'll do one thing, yeah, acres to send calculation, acres to send calculation. My class name I'm going to keep acres to send calculation, and then I'm going to have some constructor. Okay, in the constructor I'm going to assign arguments to a variable. In that I'm going to take acre. Okay, type as acre, sorry, 1 acre, and then I can keep acre. Okay, now I'm going to assign to a variable, then the same variable. Okay, say equal to, fine. Now we have initialized the constructor, and then I'm going to have some variables. Uh, Land variable name is land equal to, it's in Madipakam or Valacheri. Okay, we keep like this, and it's in Valacheri. You can use single quotes or double quotes for string, and then what you can do, we're going to have some methods. It's going to convert acres to cent, acres to cent. We'll keep some class name as, yeah, keep the class name is land measurements, land measurements, the class name, and then we're going to have one function define, and then conversion. What conversion are we going to do? Acres to cent, acres to cent conversion. Okay, and then self is first argument, and then I want to convert acres into cent, right? Acres into cent. For that, I'm going to use one return keyword to return a value. If someone calls this method, it has to return a value, and then I want to mention like is going to get the acre, right? Self dot acre. 1 acre will how many cents? 100 cents. Acre equal to 100 cents. Okay, fine. Now this is going to be a parent class. For this parent class, who is the parent? For land measurement, who is the parent? For land measurements, who is the parent? I already said to you. For land measurements, who is the parent? Object. Object is a parent. Object is your parent. Okay, fine. Now I'm going to create one more child class. I'm going to keep a derived class. Derived class is nothing but a child class, because I'm going to derive the problem on parent class. That's what I mentioned. The class name was derived class. New py file derived underscore 2. The file name like this. Now split the window. Okay. Okay. Land measurements. Okay. Now I'm going to have one more class. Land measurements calculation. This is my class name. Now for land measurement calculation, who is the parent? For land measurement calculation, who is the parent? Who is the parent?
Land measurement.
No. For every classes, the parent will be a
Objects.
object. If you're trying to derive some properties, I need some properties, then we can pass this class name. This is going to, hold a minute, this is going to be your child class name. This is going to be your parent class name. Don't get confused. Okay. Now, because it's throwing some error, why it's throwing? Because I'm inheriting the properties of the parent class to my child class. That's why I'm passing the class name here. Now I want to import the statement, right? I want to do some import. That's why it's throwing the compile time error. You want to use the import statement. The import statement you have to use like it comes under the which directory? Oops concepts under inheritance. I have this in the base 2 class. I have the land measurements. I want to import the stuffs. You can able to see from oops concept. From oops concept, so there's a directory. Under that you have inheritance. Under inheritance in the base 2 only have the land measurements. Okay. Now, meantime you can use the past keyword to avoid this compile time errors. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I want to land measurements calculation. You're going to do 1 cent price is 600 rupees. I'm mentioning over here 1 cent price is, I'm fixing for valid sheet. Okay, 1 cent price is 600 rupees. Simply for understanding, 600 rupees. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to have one more constructor for this class. Yeah, use a self keyword. It's nothing but your instance for a particular object. Fine. Now what I'm going to do, I want to reuse, I want to know how many acres. Okay, I want to know how many acres, right? I want to know how many acres. I want to reuse this constructor in my child class constructor. See here, I want to reuse a constructor in my child class. Further, what you have to do, whatever you have, right? Are going to pass on the parent constructor, you can pass same as it is. And then I already mentioned 1 cent price equals 600 rupees. I'm going to pass 1 cent price. 1 cent price is an argument. For child class, I'm going to pass one more argument. Okay, this acre, I'm going to reuse this constructor in my child class as well. Okay, now you might have a question: if I call this argument directly, can I able to reuse this constructor? No. How to call reuse the constructor in the sense? What you have to do? You have to call land measurements. Use a class name you have to call land measurements dot. You have to use the init. Then you can able to reuse this constructor in your child class. In the init, what are the arguments you have to pass? Self and acre you have to pass. Copy whatever the class you have, right? You have to pass here. Now you might have a doubt again. Why we need to pass here? Directly you can call the land class name and it's init, and then you can pass self acre, right? Then what's the need of acre over here? When I am going to create an object for this class, which class? Child class only. I'm going to create an object. What are the values I'm passing for acre? That going to substitute in the parent class constructor. Parent class constructor. That's why I used this acre in the child class as well. You have to remember, I'm going to use this constructor in the child class. That's why I use land measurements init, and then I'm passing the self acre. You might have another doubt, why what's the acre over here? For this class only, I'm going to create an object. I'm not going to create an object for my parent class. I'm going to create an object for my child classes. Yeah. Now, for this 1 cent price, I didn't assign any value. For that, what we can do, self dot, it's a variable name actually, equal to, and then assigning the value. When you're creating object, you're going to pass values for the constructor. Reformat the file. Yeah. Okay, let it be. And then I'm going to have one more method over here. def, so define, calculate, calculate price of land, calculate price of land, another method. Then you're going to use self as first argument. Okay, now going to use the return statement, and then return into already know, like once send price equal to, what's one cent price, already 1 cent price equal to 600 rupees, already know. And then what I have to do, I want to call this method. In the method, if you give 1 acre, it's going to give 100 cents. 100 into 600 will be 100 into 600, how much you will get? 100 into 600. Okay, that's your price of your land. Okay, now return, okay, don't call like this, hold a minute, return, I have the cent price, I have the cent price. We'll do one thing, we'll take one variable, total cents, and then I going to yeah, I can reuse this method. Okay, how to reuse this method? Okay, we'll do one thing, keep like this, it's going to give only 1 cent price, let it be. Now how to create an object, I want to create an object for child class, because two child class are going to derive a native parent class. Now I want to create an object, can you help me? Give some reference instance equal to, I want to call my child class name, and then how many values I want to pass, how many values I want to pass. In the constructor, okay, I'm going to call the constructor. Okay, in the constructor, how many arguments I want to pass? I want to pass only 2 arguments. If you call this constructor, what will happen? It internally is going to call your parent class constructor. Whatever you are doing here is you go trying to reuse a constructor in your child class. Now I'm going to use, like, I'm going to pass 2 arguments. One is the acre I want to pass. I have 2 acres, and then 1 cent price equal to, I'm going to assign some price 600 rupees. Okay, now I have initialized value to my constructor. Okay, once you create a constructor, it's going to assign the memory for the all the classes. In the constructor, we have one more constructor. Okay, now what is going to happen? It's going to create a single object. Even though you have 2 classes, it's going to create a single object. That instance nothing but your object underscore 1. What I'm trying to say is, in the child class constructor, you have one more, you are trying to reuse the class constructor. Now in this constructor is going to create a memory for both classes. Now it's going to be a single object. Okay, before doing these calculations, I'll say I want to use my parent class function. How to use the parent class function? How to use the parent class function? You have to say, I want to use the parent class function, conversion acre cent. How to call the conversions acre cent? You have the instance, right? Instance dot conversion acre cent. That's it. Now to call the conversion acre cent, it's going to call this method. In that constructor, you already pass the value for acre. What you are passing? 2. Now this 2 into 100 will be 200. You can able to see the console, right? 2 into 100 will be 200. Fine. For example, now my requirement is, what's my requirement? Totally I have 200 cents. I passed 2 acres, 200 cents. But each cent cost 600 rupees. I mentioned over here. It cost 200 rupees. Now you want to calculate what you can do. You can do again. You can have print statement and then take this value. What value you can take? This is going to give 200. Take this value into, hold a minute, into, and then into, have the instance, you have the instance dot, I need the 1 cent price, right? The 1 cent price is set as 600. Now it's going to give you the value of the land is, for instance, hundreds, thousand, and the lakhs, 1,20,000. Next day, the cent price is increased just 800 rupees. Where you have to change? You have to change in the constructor. Now the price is increased as 1,60,000. Now you can calculate for 5 acres. 5 acres, and then each cent price is 800 rupees. It's tens, 100,000, lakhs, right? 4 lakhs. And then how many cents are there? 500 cents are there. If you want to, for your understanding, what I can do, I should not convert this into string, otherwise it won't work. If you convert the string, it won't multiply. Okay, let it be. This will be a sense. I can print like this. Print statement str total since is this one. Okay. Now if you run the script, it's going to give the value. Okay, total is equal 500, and then total is equal 500, and then the total price for your land will be 4 lakhs. Okay, this is nothing but your single inheritance. How many parents I have? Only one parent and only one child class. This is how you can able to inherit the properties and parent class to the child class. Now, next example we're going to see. What's our next example? Sorry, multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance. How many parents should you have? How many parents you should have? You have two parents. You should have two parents, and then you should have only one child class. You should have. Okay. Now, fine. We'll try with this example. We'll close all these things. We'll keep base 3, derived 3. Okay. Base 3 and derived 3. New py file. Base means parent. Base 3. And then base 3 underscore 1. Because we're going to have two parents and one child. Base underscore 3 underscore, sorry, 3 underscore 1. How many parents I have? I have two parents. And then I want to create one more child class. Child class name is derived class. Keep it derived. Python file name is derived. Already derived is there. You can keep derived underscore 3. Derived underscore 3 you can able to create. New and then py file. Derived underscore 3. Okay. Now split the window. Okay. Now I'm going to have like some examples. I'm going to have give some class name, um, measurements measurements initialization, measurements init. This is a class name. Okay, measurement init class name. And then I'm going to have one. In that I'm going to have. Okay, this I'm going to have one constructor, and then I'm going to have one variable self dot. Now this time, what I'm going to do? I'm going to have uh, 1 cent conversion. I'm going to give cent. You want to calculate how many square meters are there. How many square meters are there? It has to calculate. Now we're going to pass one more argument and then cent only, right? Cent only, and then assign the variable. Okay, fine. And then have method calculate cent to square meter. Square meter. And then have one function. Okay. Now you can use a return statement. You can have the return statement. You can call the variable name into what square feet? 40.47 square feet. 40.47 square feet. Okay, fine. Now I'm going to have one more instant variable. The land is going to be in and place. Land is going to be in Chennai. Okay, fine. And then I'm going to have one more base classes. Going to copy the same thing. I'm going to calculate for different measurements. Measurements initialization. Measurement. I have measurement init underscore 1. And the land is going to be Cape land equal to like Pondicherry, Pondi. Okay. And then I'm going to this time I'm going to calculate 1 square meter. Okay, 1 square meter. Hold a minute. 1 square meter. 1 square meter. Okay, we'll do one thing. We'll do one thing. Like 1 square meter equal to. We'll keep the square meter, and then send this argument to a variable, and then here also change the value. Okay. Now square meter. Okay. Square meter. Okay. 1 square meter. You're going to calculate the. It's going to calculate the land price. Calculate land price, and then 1 square meter. I'm assigning some value. I'm assigning some value as comma square meter. 1 square meter price. Okay, and then assign to one variable 1 square meter is a variable, and then equal to assign this argument to this variable. Control C, Control V. Now, what you have to do? Though I have two parent classes. Though I have two parent classes, one child class. Okay, and then here you have to change in the value instead of 4.47. Now this calculate land price, what it has, it's going to give the square meter. What are square meter passing, right? It's going to use square meter. and then it's going to multiply with your price. 1 square meter, how much price is there, right? For example, if you know square meters, you can able to find the price by multiplying square meter in terms of 1 square meter price. Okay, now it's throwing one compare. Okay, yeah. Now I'm going to have one child class, derived 3. The class I'm going to keep it as display price. That's it. Now I'm going to have this constructor. It's a non-parameterized constructor. Now you have to say how to reuse this constructor. You have to say how to reuse the constructor in my child class, because I'm going to inherit the properties of both parent classes. Till now I didn't inherit any properties. First you have to say how to inherit the properties of the parent class. You have to use the brackets. I want to use both the parent properties. Can be variables, it can be functions. What you can do? You can call class name, first parent class name, comma, second parent class name, again parent class name. Now what do you do? You have to import the packages, and then for second class you have to import the packages. Now you can able to see. Now everything is fine. For temporary, you can remove this comparative error by putting the past keyword. Now I'm going to initialize the constructor f of init. Now I'm asking you how to reuse my parent 1 and 2 constructor here. How to reuse the parent constructors from both parents? No need of objects. Just pass the. For first parent, what do you have? Center. For second parent, what do you have? Square meter and 1 square meter price. Copy these things. Okay. Now I want, see, just now for my child class constructor I passing some arguments. Okay. Now I want to reuse my constructor. For reusing the constructor, you should have a call the class name dot what you can do, you can use the parent class constructor in it. In the parent class constructor, what do you have to pass? You have to pass the sint. Now, yeah, now see here, you have to pass self and then sint you have to pass. This is going to be your first parent class constructor. First parent class constructor. Now, how to reuse my second parent class constructor? How to reuse my second parent class constructor? Apply same thing here. Instead of measurement units, you have to call the, this is my second parent class, init 1, and then dot, you have to call the constructor second init, and then how many arguments you have to pass? Cell square meter and then 1 square meter price. Copy these things. Okay, copy this thing and paste in the constructor. Fine. Now I'm trying to use both parent class constructor in my child class. Okay. Now everything is fine. Okay. Now I want to create object for my child class. Whether I want to create object for my parent class or child class, I want to create class for my child class only, because the child class is inherited or derived from the parent class. You need to see, right? Though it's going to create here only one object, even though you have multiple classes, it's going to create only one object. For only one of it, you're going to assign memory. Now for child class only, I have to create a object. First you have to use instance. You can keep any name. I'm going to keep somewhat object underscore one instance equal to what's my class name? Display price is my class name. In the display price, how many arguments? Sorry, how many arguments you want to pass? See, display price is class name. If you use the bracket, it's going to call the constructor. It's going to call the constructor. Now, how many arguments you want to pass? 3 arguments. No need of self. You have to pass only cent, square meter, 1 square meter price. Okay. Now I'm going to have 200 cents. I have. Okay. I have the 200 cents. Just give some 200 and then square meter. Okay. I want to give the square meter, right? What square meter? 1 square meter. How much? 40.67, right? Yeah, 40.47. Sorry, 40.47. 40.47, comma, and then 1 square meter price. As of now, giving 300 rupees. Okay, and then just reformat the file. Now I created the object. This constructor is going to call the both parent class constructors, and then it's going to create a single object. Now the values will be assigned. See, now the values will be assigned to all my parent classes. Whatever value passed here, right? This value going to assign to my parent class, as well as this value will be substituted in the calculate square meter. Okay. Now hold a minute. I'm making one more mistake. In that square meter I have passed. Square meter I have passed. Square meter. What is square meter here? Oh, square meter. Okay. Square meter. Okay. Fine. Square meter I want to pass. Square meter equal to how many square meters? Okay. I made a blunder mistake here. The mistake in the sense, I want to know how many square meters, right? I want to know how many square meters. Then only I can able to calculate the price. Okay, 200 cents I have. For 200 cents, I need to know the price. Yeah, we can do one thing. Keep as it is. And look carefully. The parent class, if you pass cent, if I pass 100 cents, 100 into 40 points on value. Okay, 40.47 value. If I create an object for child class, I can use parent class methods as well. This parent class method as well. Now, first what I going to do, I going to create one instance equal to for my parent class. I going to. You might have a question. So it's inheritance. Why are you creating object for this parent class? For checking purposes, I created. For checking purposes, I created this object for my parent class. Mostly inheritance, what they will do, they only create an object for only child class. Through child class, they try to inherit all the properties. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do in the measurement unit is my parent class. In that, I have to pass only one argument. Cent argument I pass 200. Okay. For example, you keep 100 cents. Now, I want to call this method. How to call this method? Parent class method. Object underscore one dot what parent class method we have? Calculate percentage square meter. Can you see, right? It's going to give 40.4047.0. Save it somewhere. 4047. Okay. This is going for 100 cents. This is going to the total square meter. Total square meter will be 4047. And then if you want to add some instant variable, what you will do? In parent class, I have an instant variable. Object one dot land. If you run the script, it's going to give Chennai because variable I kept as land equal Chennai. Okay. The same thing I'm going to try for second parent class for checking purposes. Create the object for this class. Now, for this constructor, how many arguments you have to pass? Two arguments. Okay. Now, what you have to do? See, I'm going to do one thing. That's what I made here. First, I'm going to create here. I'm going to create here object for my parent class, measurement units, and then I'm going to run the script. It's going to give 4047.0. Now I'm going to remove the print statement. I'm going to store in the total square meters in the variable. Total square meters 4047.0. Yeah. Now I got this value. Right. Now I got this value. Reformat the file. Why it's not reformatting? Yeah, reformat the file. Okay, let it be. Because saying like you want to reformat all the two files, that's why it's showing like this. Now you can able to reformat, I guess. Yeah, now you can able to reformat. Okay, now through first class we find the total square meter. Total square meter. Okay, can I pass this argument to my child class constructor? We can do. See, I will write a comment here. This is my base class 1 parent class. Okay, and then now I going to create an object for child classes. Now I going to have one more instance. The instance should be unique one equal to display price and then in display price how many arguments you have to pass? I want to pass three arguments. I want to pass a cent, as well as I want to pass the square meter, and then I want to calculate the 1 square meter price, right? Okay, hold a minute. Okay, now I'm going to pass some value in my child class. The first value, what I have to pass? I want to pass the cent value. I'm going to pass again 100 cents, and then square meter. I want to pass 12 square meter, right? Just copy and pass the argument to my constructor. And then third one, what I have to pass? 1 square meter price. 1 square meter price I'm keeping like 300 rupees. 300 rupees, right? Okay, fine. Okay, if I want to call my parent class 2, how to call that method? I want to call the parent class 2 method. Object 2 dot calculate land price. That's it. What's the land price? Units, tens, 100, 1000, 10,000 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 12 lakhs, 14,000, 100 rupees. See, don't get confused. I'm saying to you, if you have any doubts, you can ask now. Okay, it's nothing but your multiple inheritance. Should have two parent and one child. Now, what I did here is I'm calculating the total square meter. Okay, I'm going to pass some cent. The cent I passed is 100. If I pass 100 into 40.47, you will get this value 4047.0. That is going to be your total square meter for that. That's the reason I created an object for this class, and then I got the value. That value I going to pass to my child class constructor argument. What a value got, right? That value going to pass as an argument to the child class constructor. Just to display price in that measurement measure. Okay, hold a minute. Cent equal to 100 cents, and then total square meter is I got 4047, right? That will I passed, and then one square meter price is 300. That's what I got as 12 lakhs 14,100 rupees. If I want to change the cents, it will give the see only 300 cents they have. The price is increased 400. It's going to give the value 16188800. This is how they can you can implement some real-time implementation for the land conversion. If you have doubts, I can show one small example for you. Okay, I hope you understood this example. Look at here. I have a two class. One is brand, another one is products. Two are the parent classes. Two are the parent class. For this brand is a parent class. Products is a child class. For products, brand is a parent. For popularity, both are what? Parents only, right? Okay. Now you have to pass. This is child class popularity of brand or product, and then what you have to do. I'm having some variables for my brands. I'm having some variables. Amazon, eBay, OLX. For my child class, this is not child class actually. I have two parents actually. This is going to another parent class. It's going to be online e-commerce store, online store, and online buy sell store. And then the third class is going to be this is nothing but a child class popularity. I'm trying to unite the properties of both parent classes, and then I'm going to assign some values. Now, can you say what's the output I'll get? For my child class, I'm creating an object, and then I'm trying to access the value of my parent class property. What's the value I'll get for first print statement? For first print statement, what will be the value? It's a multiple inheritance. What? First, find the value for this. Object 1 dot brand name 1. What's the value? Amazon. Amazon is an object 1 is instance, right? Dot product 1. Where is the product 1? It's referring the second parent class. Amazon is an online e-commerce store. Now, for second print statement, what's the value?
eBay is an online store.
eBay is an online store. Third one?
OLX is an online buy sell store.
Yeah, OLX is an online buy sell store. Okay, but here, see here, the last what I did for child class only I created an object. I'm trying to unite the properties from parent class, but why I created an object for this is because I want to calculate the total square meter, right? Total square meter value is the total square meter value is applicable in the parent class. That's why I calculate the value. I calculate the value and stored and the variable of total square meter. Okay, and then I am substituting this value in my child class constructor. This is child class. This is my child class constructor. I pass total square meter, and then this is going to be a changeable actually. If you want to change the cent, you can change cent. If you want to change the price of square meter, you can change. Okay, this is how you have to use the multiple inheritance. This is again one. The third one, the remaining types I will show on Monday. Okay, but as of now, I'm going to show what is multi-level inheritance. Already said to you, multi-level means should have one grandparent, one parent, one child, child will be grandchild. Okay, like this should be a level should be there. If your grandchild want to access properties, he has to get from the child class. If
Child.
child class want to inherit properties, you want to go to parent class. Parent class want to inherit some properties, you have to go to grandparent. Okay, like this should I follow the multi-level. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show the same example. Don't get confused. It's for easy for you. They assign only instant variables. They are not used any functions. But here, I have used some functions. Okay, you can able to call the functions. You can able to call the variables as well as you can able to call the you can use a constructor as well. For example, I'm asking you if I want to get this Pondi value, how to access? Can you say? I want to get the Pondi. How to access? For my child class, I have created an object. Okay, the instance is object underscore 2. How to get the value? Simple. We do dot
Land.
land. Because I'm trying to inherit. Inherit means I'm taking the property from the parent. Okay. Now, hold a minute, hold a minute. Why getting land equal to Chennai? Land equal to Chennai. Okay, because what's the mistake here is I given
Okay. Same variable.
same name. Okay, that's a mistake we did. Okay, now we can correct like this. Okay, what you can do, you can change the variable name. Mm, land. Okay, I'll keep we'll keep CMDA. CMD means CMDA. Okay, you can keep somewhat rural. Keep like this. Now, if I call land rural, just try to run the script. You can get Pondy. See, there is a way to achieve that. It's a overriding concept. It's a overriding, overloading. Still, we're going to see in the Python. At the time, I will say if both class having same instant variables, how to access. I will say. As of now, keep in mind you can give some different unique name for variables. That's one concept is called overriding. In the overriding, I'll say how to access variables. If the variables are name having the same name. Okay, fine. Leave that part. This is how you have to access your value. Okay, if you want to access Chennai, you can call this variable and CMDA. It's going to give Chennai. Can you able to see, right? Yeah. Now it's going to multi-level inheritance. You can see multi-level inheritance. I have this is my parent, and then this is going to child. For brand, product is a child. Okay, for products, popular is a child. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to inherit the property. See here, bracket I given brands. In popularity, what I did, I given the products. If you give products comma brands, what kind of inheritance it is? If I give products comma brands, what type of inheritance it is? I'm asking you. In popularity, if I give products comma brands, what type of inheritance it is?
Multi-level inheritance.
It's single inheritance or multiple inheritance or multi-level inheritance. It's a multiple inheritance. Though it's a multi-level, you want to pass this is in to a child class. Products has passed to another child class. Okay, these are follow the. Okay. Now you're going to say what is output for first create object for the child class. This is for child class, right? Create object for child class. You can able to access brands as well because this popularity is inherent properties of products. This product is inherent the properties of brands. Now we are creating a single object. So you know, ask in the interview, can you able to say through inheritance you can able to create a single object even though you have multiple classes. Now, can you say what is the output for the first print statement? What is the output for first print statement? What is the output for the first print statement?
Online commerce true.
Online farmer store. I'm asking what's the
Amazon is
brand?
an
Amazon is an
online e-commerce too.
store.
Popularity of
Already of
100.
product and popularity
100.
100. Like this, you can able to ask. You might have a question. See here, for popularity giving only products. I'm not giving any brands. Then how you can able to access brand name only can ask question. But what is happening here is for popularity, I'm trying to identify from products. Products trying to identify from brands. Okay, all having the interrelationship. All the classes having the some internal relationship. So you can able to access your parent class as well. Okay. The remaining types will see it Monday like a multi-level, and then we're going to see super keyword. Okay, with the help of super keyword, how to able to access your parent class. We're going to see all those things in the Monday session. As of now, I'm signing off.